Mr. Alex Twumasi to take us through the next section of the program. Thank you.
Okay, so good morning for me, and I think good evening for you all. Please, am I audible?
Yes, please. We can hear you.
Okay, so I just put on my video as well. Very good evening. Let me just also say good afternoon to everyone as well, depending on where in the world you are joining us from. It's a privilege to be here and to have the honor to share a few thoughts and share insights with everyone on the call or on the Zoom. I'm also ably joined by my colleague, Edmond Jaban, who is a compliance executive with Firmus Advisory. My name is Alex Twumasi, happens to be the managing partner for Firmus Advisory Limited, based in Accra, Ghana. So let me just dive straight into the presentation. I hope I'm able to share. Okay. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, please, you can see your screen.
Yes, you can see.
Okay. So thank you very much once again for the opportunity. I'll be speaking to you on the subject matter, the regulatory and legal framework for starting business in Ghana. Like I already mentioned, I represent Firmus Advisory Limited. And so in this presentation, we're going to cover a few things in terms of what understanding and knowing what you want to do. We will walk through the regulatory compliance framework, and then we'll talk a bit about opportunities as well, because being students overseas or people who are outside the country and Ghanaians for that matter. I don't know if we have any non-Ghanaians on the call, but we will try to speak largely to address all parties so that we can all benefit from our discourse in the next minutes that we have. We'll also talk about some mistakes, and hopefully this will be beneficial to everybody on the call. So one of the major things that we all need to address in starting your business in Ghana is to decide on exactly what you want to do. We will talk a bit about investment opportunities generally, but really deciding or finding out exactly what you want to do is like the fundamental thing that you need to do before you even start any venture. Once you have decided on what you want to do, which obviously will require some understanding of the Ghanaian environment, what opportunities pertain, understanding, doing your own basic research, whether online or on ground, to understand really what opportunities there are. Of course, it also depends on your capital, because there may be an opportunity, but it is not just all opportunities that you can take advantage of. So doing all that will help you to basically settle on what you want to do or find the right business opportunity. Now that you have decided or settled on what you want to do in terms of opportunities, you need to legalize or formalize your operations. And that is where registering your business with the Registrar General's Department is absolutely important and required to help you position your business. We'll also talk we'll go a little bit deeper into GIPC matters and how relevant that is, but it's also one of the compliances that are needed, especially when it comes to foreign-owned businesses in Ghana. And then, of course, we'll talk a bit also about tax. So the first thing that you need to know and you need to do is to register your business. And in Ghana, the agency mandated by government or the department responsible is called the Registrar General's Department. Now, when you go to the Registrar General's Department, there are various forms of businesses, and the type of business or the form of business you should choose depends on what you want to do in Ghana. So your business activity, your objects, and the ownership structure of your business will help determine what form of business entity you should go in for. An example is sole proprietorship, which is popularly called one-man business. It's a type of business reserved for only Ghanaians, So if you have a foreign partner that you'll be setting up the business with, clearly sole proprietorship is out of the way, and you should be looking at a company limited by shares. Company limited by guarantee is ideal for people who are setting up not-for-profit NGOs, associations which do not have profit motives. You should go in, or churches, you should go in for company limited by guarantee. But if you have a profit motive, then company limited by shares is the ideal structure. Now, why do we call it company limited by shares? We call it company limited by shares basically because the amount of risk, okay, or liabilities of the company is limited to the amount of shares that you have actually invested in the business. So if you go in for, let's say, a sole proprietorship business, your liabilities are unlimited, meaning that in the event of bankruptcy, default, or any issues of that nature, even your personal assets can be attacked, can be used to defray those costs. But when it comes to a company limited by shares, there is always that level of protection for shareholders, even in the event of winding down or liquidation. Then the third category is unlimited liability company. Unlimited liability company normally are for law firms and other service providers where they have unlimited liability because it's a professional practice and they are legally responsible for whatever advice that they give you. Hence, they form unlimited liability company. Then the last but not the least is external company. External company is ideal for foreign companies that are expanding their branch offices into Ghana. So if, let's say, you operate, let's say, a McDonald's or a KFC or any of these foreign brands outside, and you want to set up just a branch office. Now, a branch office or external company, or also called liaison office, is not meant to be doing active trading. In the strict sense of the word or of the term external company, it is only an extension of your foreign office here into Ghana. It is done normally sometimes to understudy the market. You do, or you set up an external company when you are not too sure of what exactly you want to do in Ghana. So external company sort of helps you to put one foot in the market, understudy the market, and decide on exactly what you want to do. So these are the broad categories of various types of business options available to you. So as you decide on what exactly you want to do in Ghana, you should be guided by this. If it's a one-man business you want to set up, then of course, sole proprietorship is cheaper, comes with less cost, and in terms of taxes and everything, easy for a new person starting to go in for a sole proprietorship business. If you have more than one party involved, 2, 3 onwards, you can decide to go in for a company limited by shares where you can have multiple shareholders. You have minimum of 2 directors to be able to form a company limited by shares. You can structure that, and as long as it's a profit-oriented business, you can set it up and do that. Again, if you have some foreign partners coming on board, then you need to go in for a company limited by shares. Go in for guarantee, company limited by guarantee if it's a not-for-profit, unlimited liability for law firms and other professional service providers, external company, branch office expanding here into Ghana. So these are the broad options. Now that you have registered your business, you also may, if it is 100% Ghanaian owned company, you may register with the GIPC as well. If it's a company that has foreign ownership, then you are required. It is not may, you are required to register with the GIPC. So the GIPC is the agency of government mandated to register or capture all foreign investment coming into the country. They are also responsible for promoting the country overseas. and helping investors to come into the Ghanaian market or Ghanaian economy. So you probably may have heard or seen the GIPC carrying out a lot of investment promotion drives, trying to market the country to get investors into the country. Most often people think GIPC is just set up for foreigners. No, GIPC, according to the law or according to the law, is a regime that helps boost and helps investors or businesses setting up in the country. And so whatever incentives or benefits are available under the GIPC Act 865 for foreigners is equally available for all Ghanaians as well. So it's a very good program for anybody who is investing or setting up their businesses here in Ghana. So, but it is mandated or required for businesses that has foreign shareholders. But if you are not a business that has foreign shareholders, then you may, and it's purely Ghanaian business, you may, and it's recommended that you do so that you can access some of the incentives under the GIPC Act. And we'll talk a little bit more later about the incentives that GIPC offers. So registration with the GIPC comes right after registering with the Registrar General Department. The major thing is that if you're a business that has foreign shareholders, so let's say you are in China, you have a friend who is coming to Ghana and approaches you for partnership, then you need to let the person know that for businesses that has foreign shareholders, there's a minimum capital requirement under the law that needs to be met by all foreign shareholders. So if the business is a joint venture, okay, a joint venture means you are partnering with a Ghanaian. The minimum equity that that Ghanaian partner must hold is 10%. So the Ghanaian cannot hold less than 10% equity in a joint venture. And in that case, the capital requirement is $200,000 US. $200,000 US. Now, the joint venture should be non-trading. I mean, the business activity for that particular joint venture that you are forming, the activity must be, it can be any other activity except general trading. And in point number 3, I'll talk about what general trading means. Point number 2, if it's 100% foreign-owned company, the capital requirement is $500,000. If it's a trading business, trading in our law simply refers to people who are importing already finished products into Ghana to sell. So if somebody wants to import, let's say, canned fish from China to Ghana, or import clothes from China to Ghana, or any product, excavator, machinery, it's called general trading, because what you are bringing in is already finished product. And the capital required for such a business is $1 million US. And also, you need to show evidence that you'll be employing at least 20 Ghanaians in that particular venture. There is no minimum capital requirement for foreigners who are investing in manufacturing, export trading, and portfolio investment. Portfolio investment is if you are buying some fixed deposit, some treasury bills, there is no investment required. Export trade is if you are buying, let's say, gold from Ghana and exporting cashew from Ghana, anything that you are buying in its raw state and exporting, it's called export trade, and there is no capital requirement for that kind of business. Then manufacturing. Then manufacturing as well. So manufacturing, you already understand, there's no minimum capital requirement for that. So apart from this particular activity, all the other 3, if you don't fall under these 3 options or 3 activities, then you need to have or bring in the minimum capital requirement. The last but not the least is foreign spouses and Ghanaians with dual nationality as well. So the equity requirement, $200, $500, $1 million, as indicated above, can come in the form of cash or in the form of kind. Okay, so cash means you need to transfer this capital through the banking system into your business bank account. So register the company at Registrar General. Once you have the certificates, open a bank account, a corporate bank account with any of the banks of your choice. then you can transfer the equity, required equity, into that same business account. The law requires you to convert it into Ghana cedis, and then you take a letter from the bank confirming that indeed this inflow, there's been this quantity or amount of inflow into the bank account. Another option is that you can also bring in this equity in the form of kind. If I say kind, I mean anything tangible that is going to be used. Anything tangible that is going to be used for the setup of the business. So let me give you an example. If you are setting up a hospital in Ghana and you imported laboratory equipment, X-ray or ultrasound equipment, beds and all those things are part of your equity. All those things are part of your equity. So as long as you imported it in the name of the company that you have already registered, then these items can be captured as part of your equity. So this is it, especially for foreigners and then also joint ventures, Ghanaians partnering foreigners as well. Then from there, we'll talk about tax as well. So you need to register your business with the Ghana Revenue Authority, okay? And you register at the GRA. The short name for Ghana Revenue Authority is GRA. You need to register with the GRA office closest to your business. So let's say you establish your business and your business is located at Spintex, okay, Spintex in Accra. You need to register with the GRA office also at Spintex or closest to Spintex, which could be Bachuna or Labadi or Teshi or something. That was the closest office to Spintex based on where you are located in Spintex. So that's what you have to do. Registration with the GRA is fairly simple, and we always recommend that you register with the GRA just when you are about starting your commercial operation. So that sometimes between the date you register the business and the day you actually start operations could be far apart, quite a distance. So we recommend that you don't rush to do the GRA just when you incorporate, but you wait for the time when you are actually hitting the ground or starting to go commercial. That's when you do that, just so that you don't register with GRA and start having a lot of tax burden on you and compliance and filings here and there when your business is actually not started. So pretty much simple. You need to complete tax registration forms, bus registration forms, add the resume or CV of all the directors. You do a pictorial delineation of where your business is located. You submit. It takes a few days for it to be done. Once you are registered with the GRA, every single month, you need to file income tax returns for the employees of the business. You also need to file your VAT returns. VAT is borne by customers. So as you sell goods and services, the VAT that you charge, you need to file those returns and pay those monies that you've collected, VAT returns you've collected, pay that to government. You also need to pay social security. You need to also pay social security for all the employees working in the business, and that's tier 1, tier 2. So these are the regulatory, or in terms of taxes, what you are required to do. Every year, once you are a company limited by shares and you make a profit, the corporate tax rate is 25%. It's 25%. This is on profit, okay? Not on sales. It's not on sales, it's on profit. Then there's capital gains tax of 15%. The personal income tax, that is the income tax that your workers and yourself will be paying here, is a graduated structure. So once you have the salary, you put it in the schedule, and then you would know the amount of income tax that needs to be paid per month. Our VAT system, we have two VAT schemes. We have the standard rate and we have the flat rate. Flat rate is for retail shops or retail businesses that sell or do a turnover of less than 500,000 Ghana cedis a year per annum. So if you are doing less than 500,000 Ghana cedis a year and you are also into retail, then you can charge a VAT rate of 4%. But even if you are retail and you are doing more than 500, then you will be required to use the standard rate, which is 18.5 as of now. So that's the standard rate, 18.5%, which you can see there, there's a breakdown. So it's a combination, okay, of NHIL, National Health Levy, which is 2.5, Get Fund Levy 2.5, bringing it up to 5%, COVID Levy 1%, VAT 12.5. So every month you need to file these returns to government. Let's talk also, or let's move on to talk about some investment incentives. You remember I mentioned that there are some investment incentives that you enjoy once you are registered with the GIPC. So the GIPC law, I think it's section 26, allows for duty exemption, custom duty exemption on core machinery for the business. So if we say core machinery, we are referring to machinery equipment that are directly related to the business that you are going to do in Ghana. They don't give exemptions on general items, general machinery, or general equipment. So again, let me go back to my hospital example. If you are setting up a hospital in Ghana, if I say core machinery, that will cover items like an ultrasound machine, X-ray machine, some gadgets, some lab equipment. These are core. Core. Why do we call them core? We call them core because they are directly related to the business activity that you are established to do. Because without those gadgets, you cannot run a hospital. So it is core, or they are core to your business. For those items, you'll be granted exemption on those items. But items like vehicles, these are general purpose items. Of course, we all know that every hospital needs a vehicle. You can't run a hospital without a vehicle. Every hospital needs a computer, but these are general use items, and you will not be given exemption on general use items, even though you may need it. So I hope that gives you a lot of bit of clarity on that point. Then there are also tax holidays based on your business activity. So tax holidays just simply means that you will not pay tax. So you have businesses like cattle rearing, which has about 5 years holiday, tax holiday. And if I say tax, I'm referring to corporate tax, as in the 25% corporate tax that you'd have been paying on profits. That's the exemption tax holiday I'm talking about. Not the income tax on employees' emoluments, not VAT, not social security. I'm talking just profit tax. So if you are doing poultry is also 5 years. So fish farming has 5 years tax holiday. So these are all tree cropping as well, like oil palm, coconut cropping or tree cropping. You get tax holidays for these business activities. There are not many, just a few sectors, activities like what I've mentioned are the ones that qualify for tax holiday. Apart from that, the last point you see on that slide is when we also have what we call locational incentives. Locational incentives are incentives put together by government to intentionally encourage businesses to move outside Accra and Tema. So government has realized that Accra and Tema tends to be very choked or clustered when it comes to the number of businesses here. And it makes the other regions quite deprived and not getting the same access to these opportunities. So government has decided to put this policy together as a way of attracting businesses, manufacturing businesses to move outside Accra and Tema. So if you are a business and then you are located outside Accra and Tema, you will get a tax rebate. So the corporate tax is 25%, as I mentioned. As we move away from Accra and Tema, it starts dropping from sometimes you can pay like 18.5, you can pay like 12.5, you can pay, some places are even zero. Places like the Upper West, and I think Upper East, they are both zero because it's government's intentional policy to help move industries up north, to create jobs and then make sure that development is evenly spread across the country, and then create jobs for the local people within that community. So as you move your business up to these places, your taxes get lower, which for me is a very fantastic policy. And this policy has been there for a number of years. And I believe people thinking of setting up their businesses, especially manufacturing and agro-processing, should consider these areas so you can save big time on your taxes. And it's not just for a year. You save taxes as long as that business continues to operate in that locality. You keep paying less taxes. So, but then if you are, and then also, if you are in the regional capitals, okay, your taxes are a little higher. So the rebate is in two stages. The regional capital gives you 25% rebate. And then as you move from the regional capital to the village within that same region, it drops to about 50%, 50% rebate on the taxes, on the corporate tax. So if you're in let's say Sunyani, you pay you get 25% off, which is about 18 point something percent. Then as you move from Sunyani and you go to, let's say, in Kranza or Egira, it will drop by 50% off, which now brings you to 12.5% corporate tax instead of paying 25%. So again, I hope this makes sense and it is clear. So one of the biggest questions and we normally get is, what should I do? I know I want to come back home, I want to start something, but what should I do? What business should I do? Which is really a big question and a fundamental question to your business. And sometimes this thing can be the distinguishing factor between those who make it and those who don't make it, because choosing the wrong opportunity even means that you are starting on the wrong footing. So there are many opportunities, as you all know, being Ghanaians abroad, you know that Ghana has a lot of opportunities and pretty much in all the sectors. With research and doing your fundamental work well, you should be able to decipher and settle or decide on something that you have the experience and the skill set and capital to be able to. Can the person mute himself, please? Okay. So yes, we have opportunities in the agric and agro-processing sector. We have opportunities in the agric and agro-processing sector. 1 minute. We have opportunities in the agro-processing sector, and it's numerous. And you know, Ghana has very good land, very fertile land, and a lot of land available for agric and agro-processing. We have oil and gas, which is good for people who have the skill, the knowledge, the connections, and also the capital. Mining and mineral processing has seen a lot of challenges in the whole sector, but there still remains opportunities for things like mining support services. So not necessarily digging the ground, but being able to provide various services and also goods to the existing large-scale mining companies who are always sourcing for various items around the world, and also services. Energy and renewable energy will always remain a big thing because Ghana keeps expanding, and there's always the need and opportunity for people who have some new technology to generate power and all that. Education, definitely There's big opportunity in the education sector, very, very big opportunity in the education sector. And I believe that if you do your research well, you will be able to see. Currently, a lot of private senior high schools are getting a lot of traction because of our free SHS program, which is really affecting a lot of people, and people have to, is now making the private schools very attractive for parents. So the opportunities for all these kind of businesses, online education is definitely a thing that is here to stay because people are looking for a way to supplement whatever they are learning and also to go into new areas of education. ICT and fintech, Ghana is seeing a good share of fintech companies coming into Ghana, providing online payment solutions, mobile apps interface. I mean, the whole growth in the mobile money space is something that should tell everybody on this call that there's big market for ICT and fintech. A few years back, we didn't know anything like mobile money, but today, look at how mobile money has just been integrated into our whole economy and our whole lifestyle, and it has big potential if you have good ideas and solutions and IT skills to be able to build something from the existing infrastructure that we have to take it to a whole new level. Health is absolutely great, whether you want to supply health-related items or equipment or go into health services. There are opportunities there because Ghana still needs a lot of these services. And then infrastructure, transport infrastructure, a little bit expensive to go in, but definitely a good business opportunity for anyone looking at that space. I listed a few small business ideas because I believe that there may be students on this call who may not have huge capital to go into things like oil and gas or go and buy large tracts of land to farm and do processing and all of that. But I listed some of these services which to me are very good and easy to start with, especially if you're looking at a way to combine school or work with something back here at home. Trade facilitation services is a good opportunity. Being in China, you have a lot of Chinese investors who are interested in coming home. And I've had many Ghanaian students or many Ghanaians who have studied in China or live in China come back home, and they come with investors who are looking to start their operations here. And you can be their hand. You can be their hand when it comes to they coming here to start their businesses by providing some form of intermediary, especially knowing the language barrier. You could be an excellent intermediary between Chinese people who are looking to come to Ghana and where you know all the agencies and you can build your network with them. So this can be a whole service if you really package that service very well. E-commerce is also here to stay and is really growing. Not long ago, we've seen a lot of Chinese companies come in here to try and then enter the space. And since China has a lot to offer the world in terms of production, in terms of goods and all of that, you can equally also build an e-commerce platform and be able to supply goods and services to various people. Translation services, especially if you can speak Chinese, you can offer your services, and this can be linked to item 1 and item 2, as I've indicated on my list already, because if you have translation, if you know how to speak the language and you can package yourself well, you can easily be providing these services to clients around the world. Blogging, people are making money with blogging, and it's definitely something that you can also do in addition to whatever you are doing. Software development, also various solutions coming up to address various problems that people have, and these are all opportunities. Farming, of course, if you have some family land, you don't even have the funds to buy land, and you have some family land, you could definitely go into farming. You can also lease the farmlands. You can look at potential partnerships so that you'll be able to do this, and you can farm various crops for exports or for local consumption and things like that. So farming definitely is a good thing. And also, of course, animal farming, whether you're looking at poultry or any, because Ghana imports a lot of poultry from overseas. And if you have the skill, the capital, you can consider that. Home tutoring services, and of course also food services. So these are just a few small business ideas that I wanted to throw across, just for all of us to be open-minded and see how we can add on or consider some of these opportunities. Growing a startup business in Ghana, friends, family, growing a business in Ghana is hard. It's very, very hard. It's very, very hard. And I need you to understand that it is hard. It's not easy because of we don't have a lot of systems that makes life easy and helps you to check a lot of things, especially if you are not around. People are not honest, and that is something that if you have not realized, it will soon dawn on you that there are a lot of Ghanaians who are not honest. You employ them in your business, and then they will squander your money. They will chop your money for you, and then they'll run down your business. You get into partnership with someone, and the person is just thinking about their own affairs and how they can enrich themselves while you are sitting somewhere and sweating. So it's very hard. And I always say that if our systems were better, businesses could expand faster. We could set up more branches and grow faster. But because people are not honest, you sit in Accra, you put a branch company in Kumasi or Sunyani, and you are expecting that we will all run the various operations and grow faster. Somebody sits in Kumasi and thinks that as for you, you are okay, and they start messing up your business. So all these things makes it quite hard. And so to start a small business and to grow your business, my first advice is that start small. Just start, okay? You will learn the lessons, you will improve yourself, you will get better, you will put your operations together well, and you will expand along the way, as long as you don't give up and you keep pushing and you keep learning and putting things together. So start small and look at what business opportunity you can start with whatever capital you have. Start and grow. And as you put in the systems, professionalism and excellence service and all of that, you will start getting some traction and be able to grow your business. Point number 2, put in systems. So you remember I said that people are not honest, they will steal from you, they will tell you lies, they will tell you things, they want to sell and put the money in their pocket, or take your money, sell and quickly go and buy new stock and come and put it there and make it appear like they've not sold your goods, but they have actually sold and turned around your money on your blind spot. So put in systems, okay? Think through about your business. I don't know your business model, but look at a business where you can have systems and checks and balances so that you'll be able to have control over your business. It's a very, very important. Leverage the power of social media, because social media is here to stay. So whatever business you are in, just think of how and make it a point to leverage the power of social media so you can grow faster and expand your business. Don't forget the power of research. So there are many opportunities out there. And what should you put your money into, or what should you start with? You need to do some research to be sure of what you are doing, and so that you make an informed decision before you make your move. So it's also a very important point. And then leverage partnerships. You know, Ghanaians don't like partnership because people are not honest. I agree, I understand. But as you look at people coming from outside the country, they do like a lot of partnership. I'll give you this example. A few years back, I had a Chinese friend who had come to establish a business here, a trading business, and all that they were selling here was flat shoes. You know, these ladies, they are flat shoes that they wear in the house. They take it for funerals. They have these easy wear, and I think it's quite popular in China. So this guy had come to Ghana early 2000, early 2000 to establish his business here. And at the time I was having this conversation with him, he had been in Ghana for like 10 years, and he was just preparing to leave and go back to China. So I had a conversation with him and I said, how are you, Feng? He's called Feng. And I asked him why he wants to leave, I'm on a Zoom, why he wants to leave Ghana. And he said that he has made enough money. He has made enough money. He's bought a couple of houses in China, and so he wants to go back home. And I said, really? He said, yes. And there's a guy who was selling at UTC. If you know UTC area in Accra there, he was selling the things. And when you go there in the morning, as we say in P, quite busy guy. So he said he was okay. He was okay. And then he was handing over the business to his brother. So I asked him, these shoes that you have been making, you've been selling here, I know you import them and you've been selling. So who is the manufacturer there? And he says, oh, it is his friend. It is his friend in China who has the manufacturing company there. And so the friend has been shipping the things to him. And so at the end of the year, they share the profit. And he says that, I mean, in a year, at the end of the year, the kind of profit that they share is very, very good. And for a foreigner to look in my face and tell me the profit is very good. And I can't recall the exact figure because it's some years back, but I remember the figure he mentioned was quite huge. And I was quite surprised that you can sit in Ghana and sell flat shoes and flat slippers and make that kind of money. But the point that I'm trying to make and linking it to the point about partnership is that imagine someone is sitting in China and trust someone sitting in Ghana and be sending him goods. They will sell, God knows how many containers they will sell in a year. And at the end of the year, they will divide the thing and then he will send the guy money. And if he wasn't dividing and sending the guy money as a share in China, the business would not have continued for those years, about 10 years and more that he was operating in Ghana. Definitely, there was that unity in understanding and unity in purpose and honesty in their dealings. So partnerships are very good. The problem is that sometimes it's hard to find honest people. Sometimes it's hard to find honest people, and not finding honest people to build your business with, to work with, to grow the business. People that you can connect with, you can insult each other, you can fight, you can still agree on things and know that in spite of everything that has happened, you still have a certain level of understanding and fundamental that everybody comes to, so you can work and grow your business. I believe that will make our lives easier. It will help us to grow our businesses faster. We can leverage on each other's strength and then build a business. So maybe you have a trade facilitation skills or some trade facilitation skills you want to start with. Somebody else has a clearing or freight forwarding kind of experience. Somebody has translation services. You could easily form a certain business where you basically help Chinese businesses coming out of China, expanding into Africa. And you can definitely market the whole of Africa because there's nowhere in the world that you can't go. So just a few thoughts again to help people who are looking to start here. As I round up my presentation, and of course there'll be time for Q&A, I want to throw a bit of light on some mistakes that investors or people who are starting their businesses make. Number one is that people tend to form one business and they want to put the whole inside that one company. So they set up one business and say, I want to do a restaurant, I want to set up a hotel, I want to import this and sell, I want to do that, I want to do that. My advice is that just start small and start with one business that you want to do. The reason is that a lot of the activities you are busily listing and putting there, it has regulatory or legal ramifications, which will require you to, or even tax implications as well. And sometimes, especially when it comes to GIPC, you have a certain object and then you are importing items meant for another project. And it is not clear what exactly is the real intention of the business. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you set up a guest house, okay? You set up a guest house, and then alongside that, you've gone to write there that You also want to be doing general trading. Now, this guest house, you have imported curtains, or you've imported some cutlery or some plates, and you are trying to get some exemption for these items that you have imported. But nobody knows whether these items you have imported are meant for reselling. You're going to sell them again or not, because in that same business, you have put there general trading, you put in the guest house or accommodation facility or whatever. So just start with one activity, and you can always amend your business activity anytime you want to. Please understand that a promise to buy is not a sale. So most people start come and they say, oh, this guy has promised me this, that if I do this, he will do that. And then they find themselves in all kinds of issues. Understand that some people can make a lot of promises, but somebody promising you that you're going to do something is actually not something that you can rely on. Also, don't rely on influence. Some people come and then, oh, I know this man, the minister is my friend. You see, politicians can talk big. Politicians can really talk big. So my advice is that do your research, follow logic, think through your business model, be sure it works, and don't rely on people telling you so many things and promising you heaven and not delivering anything. Respect the system, okay? The system and processes for getting things done. Respect it, and don't think that Johnny just come. You can just get anything done within a flash. So just do that, especially for foreigners or joint ventures, Ghanaians partnering foreigners and investing in Ghana. Also note that when you are transferring your equity, we spoke about the minimum equity and all of that.
Hello?
When you are transferring, hello, is there a problem here?
I got corona.
Okay, so
You Hindi and
okay, the host, if you can please
The
moderate.
host, please remove that person.
Okay, so especially for foreigners who are for Ghanaians partnering foreigners, let them know or take note that you should not put the equity into personal accounts. So this is what I mean. Sometimes people establish or register their company or their companies, and then they open the bank account. They tend to transfer the equity into their personal bank account. Don't do that. Ensure that you put the funds in the business account, and of course, you can spend on all business related transactions as you want. Undocumented and non-contractual agreements, non-receipted payment. So this thing tends to happen a lot. You come in, you have the money, they smell that, yes, this guy has come here with money, and then you enter all kinds of agreements, undocumented, based on verbal things. And
what is this about?
Based on promises and all of that. Please be mindful and be careful and ensure that you have done proper agreement. So sometimes even Ghanaians go and sign partnership things, or they go ahead with partnership things with foreigners without they not understanding what they have actually gotten themselves into. Sometimes you see a Ghanaian, they'll partner a Chinese, they'll form a company. Somewhere along the line, the man wants to take the business for himself, and you are saying that, oh, but I've done this, I've done that, I gave you this thing, I led you to this man, because of me, I did this, I used my connections and all of that. You did not set the parameters well, and you did not spell out everything clearly. So you gave yourself out, you have been used, you have supported the project, and now your fingers have been bent, and you are trying to redeem or get something for yourself. So try, so that before you enter these partnerships and everything, you sat down, the equity that you are putting in the business, the equity that he is bringing into the business is well spelled out, so that right from the beginning, you regulate and you structure the relationship very well, and you follow everything accordingly, what you have agreed and what you have set in print. Why? Because tomorrow too, death can come. And if somebody dies or one of the parties is not there, who and what are you going to do? So ensure that as you come back home, or you're thinking about setting up your businesses and things, you structure agreement and you structure everything clearly. Whether it's a partnership you are coming together to do, so that you are not cheated and no other person is also cheated as well. Do your due diligence also. Buying land in Ghana is a wahala. It's a big problem. Not just land, but a lot of things. I've had people send us inquiries. There was a guy who was based in Hong Kong, and somebody had promised him to sell him some scrap metal. But somehow he had a funny feeling. He reached out to us to go and check it out. We did due diligence on the person, and we went there to see the supposed place where the scrap and things were, and it was it was just a bush. It was just a bush. So do your due diligence, especially when it comes to trade facilitation and trying to lead people to, because if it's a service you want to provide, you have to ensure that you've done proper due diligence and all of that. So a little bit about us. We are a consulting firm established in 2011, based in Accra, and expanded into Nigeria as well. We provide 3 core services: market research, trade development, and regulatory compliance. So market research, we basically help new investors to understand the Ghanaian market, everything from market insight, customer experience, putting of pre-feasibility and things like that together, so you can make a good investment or business decision. We do that. And our trade development department or unit, we work with various trade agencies like the Chamber of Commerce, and other trade organizations like JETRO, like the Singapore Business Federation, and some other embassies, to help people who are overseas, who are looking to come to Ghana, looking for partnerships, to identify credible Ghanaian businesses that they can partner. And in this, we do due diligence, we do background checks on the Ghanaian companies, and try to do what we call matchmaking and ensure that you have a right fit in terms of partnership and in terms of what you're looking at. And the reason behind trade development is that it's not everybody who wants to come and register a company in Ghana. Sometimes people want to just sit overseas and then look for potential partners that they can work with. As we speak now, I have a Chinese person who reached out a week ago looking to export frozen fish and canned fish from China into Ghana, and has asked for us to do some trade development work by finding some Ghanaian businesses that are actually importing these products and helping her to do matchmaking. So that's what we do. Regulatory compliance is when you have finally decided that you want to register or start your operations in Ghana. Then our unit there will take care of the company registration process, tax advisory, providing immigration support, and other regulatory licensing that are needed, whether it's the GIPC, whether it's free zones, or even product certification. So if you are bringing in food, drugs, medicals, you need to have the product registered by the FDA, Food and Drugs Authority. We do facilitate all those compliances here at Firmus. What we've sought to do basically is to bring together or create a one-stop shop where you can basically get all your key compliances done without having to move from agency to agency, wasting time, and then also have a team that can speak to all the key issues that you will need when it comes to starting your business in Ghana. We expanded into Nigeria. So all these services that I've spoken about for Ghana, we provide same services also in Nigeria as well. So if you ever need anything in Nigeria or have any client going into Nigeria, we'll be happy to extend our services to you. These are some of our clients and the people that we work with. You can go through the list and many more as well. We have developed a document called the Compliance Passport, and we'll be happy to share. Edmond, if you can drop it in the chat, you can drop the link. This is a handbook that has every compliance that you can think of in Ghana in this document. We developed it because after years of being in this business, we have so many questions coming from people from all over the world. I want to do this. How do I do that? I need this. How do I do that? So we put together a document called the Compliance Passport that's safe to give you all the key things you need. How to call it a how-to handbook. I want to do this. It will give you the requirements, the cost, the agency, their phone number, everything that you need to do to get yourself started is in that Compliance Passport, and it's for free. So Edmond will drop the link where you can download a copy for all participants in this. This is our contact. If you ever need us, we'll be happy to support and add value to what you do. We are simply inspired to deliver value. And thank you all very much for your attention. Thank you.
Solomon. Solomon, we can't hear you.
Solo?
Can't hear anything.
Yeah, I guess if you have a question, you can raise your hand up, and then he'll be ready to help you. So kindly let us know if you have a question. You can also text your question in the chat box, and then we will read it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're clear.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Really sorry. It was the network. All right. Yeah. So it is now time for question from our participants, and we would like to really thank Mr. Alex Twumasi so much. He has really educated us a lot in terms of the types of business that we can actually engage in terms of social partnership, whether partnership, company, and then also their various characteristics in terms of their limitedness in their liabilities, like capital startups, among others. And he has also spoken a lot about Ghana Investment Promotion Center, that's the GIPC registration, and then the minimum foreign investment requirements that we need to fulfill if we want to invest in Ghana. And he has also mentioned a lot about the various investment opportunities in Ghana, including whether agri, oil and gas, mining and mineral processing, energy, renewable energy, health, education, and so much more. So we have already learned a lot. Now it is time for us to ask our questions. Please, if you have any question, this is the time that you can ask your question. The floor is open. Yeah, so we are waiting for your questions. You can also put your questions in the chat box, and so that we can read out the questions.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, yeah,
Hello.
you're on.
Yeah, please. I can see someone has already asked the question and it's in the chat.
Okay.
So please, can you read it for us, sir?
Okay,
He can
okay.
answer.
Yeah, from Canaan. Yeah, she said, Please, my audio is not working. Here the question is, after annual tax declaration, does Ghana government or GRA refund some percent to the company? If no, why? So that is our first question. And the question is that after the annual tax declaration by a company, does the Ghana government or the GRA, that is Ghana Revenue Authority, refund some percentage to the company? If no, why? So this question is to Mr. Alex Twumasi. I don't know if we should kind of pile up the questions before he answers them once and for all, or he's going to answer them as and when they pop up. Mr. Alex,
Okay, let me
please,
answer it.
which option?
Can you hear me?
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Yeah, let me answer it since I don't think there are any more questions I've seen in the chat. So let me take this and then you can read the next one if there are more, or we'll wait for the next set of questions as well. So first of all, when you file your tax returns, it depends on what you are filing. Okay, so there are monthly tax returns you need to file, i.e. income tax. Income tax is based on the salaries of your employees. There are no refunds because you are declaring the taxes that you are liable to pay based on the salaries of your workers. Then we have VAT. VAT is based on your sales. If you have sold something and you have charged VAT, and I mean, if it's VATable and you have charged, then you have to declare and pay to government. There wouldn't be any refund. I mean, there's no cause for a refund because you are the one paying. So you will calculate and pay. Social Security, you pay. There are no refunds. At the end of the year, if you file you are required to submit your annual audited financial statement to the GRA. Now, in that audited financial statement to the GRA, you are declaring your turnover, your expenses, based on which you have generated a certain profit or loss. If you have generated loss, there is no tax to be paid. If you have generated or you've made a profit, there's a corporate tax rate of 25% that you need to pay. So I'm not sure where the refund comes in when it comes to, if you've made a loss, it is not government's responsibility to refund you anything. You have made a loss, and hence you are not going to pay the corporate tax, the profit. As for your VAT, VAT is borne by the customer, not you. You only charge, you add it as part of your cost, and then it is borne by the customer. You only deduct and keep it, and you file it. You are like a withholding agency. You hold it, and then the next month you file and you pay all those returns to government. So I don't see where the refund comes in, unless I don't understand her question.
Wow, interesting. Canon, please, I hope your question is answered.
Yeah, but she can come again with a follow-up if she's not clear, since she cannot speak and she can type. She can type any follow-up if she's still not clear on something. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Alex. Yeah, I do have a question for you. Right from the start, you actually talked about the types of businesses. If you could please throw a little light on the difference between company limited by shares and then external company, which you term as liaison office. Like, what is the difference between these two? Liaison office. I don't know if you could be clear on that for us. Okay, so company, external company, sometimes we call it branch company or liaison office. First of all, this company doesn't have any shareholders. Okay. If you set up, if you set up an external company in Ghana, please hold on 1 minute, please hold on.
Okay.
You can make the call outside. Sorry, please forgive me. There was a colleague that came. So yes, external company. If you set up an external company in Ghana, the company doesn't have shares, okay, that you are going to float, and hence it doesn't have any shareholders. There are no directors of that company, and the reason is that an external company, it's an existing business outside the country, outside the shores of Ghana, that has decided to put an office in Ghana. So consider any of the big Chinese brands you have, or any of the big Chinese companies there. If they decided that they want to put an office in Ghana, that will be termed a liaison external company or a branch office. This is what it is termed. Now, it is not a company incorporated under our laws. So you don't consider an external company or a liaison office as a company incorporated under the laws of Ghana. It is a company incorporated under the laws of China and has decided to just put an office here. So it is called a representative office. Now, the purpose of an external company or a liaison office, it is not to do trading, as in buying and selling and making profit or selling anything or rendering their services here. The purpose of that is normally to understudy the market. Okay, now let's assume that I'm not sure, but I feel Ghana has potential. I'm sitting in China, I'm not too sure, but I feel Ghana has a potential. I don't want to come and then form a company limited by shares, the capital, the setup, everything, director, shareholding, and all of that, and be here. So I want to set up a small office where I can study the market until such a time that I have fully decided on what I want to do. Maybe, yeah. So he wants my location. I'll get back to you when I finish. So you want to put an office here and understudy the market. That is the purpose. Or sometimes you already have customers here. Let's say I'm a Samsung and I already have customers who are buying my things from my home country. Maybe I'm a Chinese brand and I have customers buying and shipping and all of that. But I feel where my business has gotten to, I want to be closer to my customers by putting an office there, so that instead of they calling China all the time difference, language barrier, they can just go to Adabraka or Spentex and go and talk to a Ghanaian there who will listen to them and take their complaints. The office here will not be selling. It is like a customer representative office. So these are, or sometimes I want to do a research. And for that research, I want to put my person here to stay here and have legal documents to study and do research for 1 year or 3 months or 6 months for him to advise whether we should now invest in Ghana or not. So these are the circumstances under which external company or a liaison office is advised. Now, a company limited by shares is for full commercial operations, invoicing, receiving funds, selling things, making money, making profits, you understand, and paying your taxes in Ghana. So in a company limited by shares, you have your shareholders, the owners. A company limited by shares is a company incorporated under the laws of Ghana. So you are a Ghanaian company. You understand? You have shareholders, you have directors, you have other legal requirements in terms of holding your AGM, holding your board meetings, and all of that, because you are a Ghanaian company and you must conduct your business in line with the Companies Act of Ghana. So these are the differences, and I hope you get the clarity now.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you very much for clarifying this these two concepts. Now, yeah, you also we also have another question for you. Now, the next question for you is that considering the current situation in Ghana, whereby the taxing is actually going so high. Definitely, you can see that these days everything is actually being taxed. Everything has been taxed here and there. So the question is that how would a person how do you call it let's say be assured that the person actually starting a business in Ghana, that person's business is actually going to grow, because every now and then the taxes are actually going so high. Everything is being taxed. So how do we have the assurance that if we decide to come and invest in Ghana, the business is actually going to grow and then move to a different stage? Per the current taxation system in Ghana. So if you could also answer that for us.
Mr. Solomon, this your question is meant for the politicians, so it's not for we the private sector people, because I can't give any assurance that things will not go up. I can't give any assurance, but you're asking me to give assurance or whether this thing will go up. Yes, things are hard. That's why you need to do your research and be sure that the product or the service you are offering is sellable, and if you can sell enough to break even and to be in profit. As for the taxes, it is the owners of the land. As for us, we are passing through. The owners of the land and the politicians. They are the ones who are holding the purse, and they are the ones whipping us with a stick. So we don't have much control when it comes to taxation, because the lawmakers who make it. You as a business person should control the factors that you can control, be it trying to sell more, trying to cut costs in terms of your inputs, or in terms of what goes into your costing to derive your cost. So these are some of the things and ways you can do to stay competitive, because I believe globally everything is going up. Cost of operations, and governments are trying to get more money from citizens so they can do things with it and all of that. So there isn't much we can do in terms of tax cuts, because it's all based on government policy. But we just as businessmen should try to control our cost, try to stay competitive, and try to be efficient with our approach of providing the service that we are set out to provide, and of course improve service delivery so you can have more business, and then even if you are making a peswa profit from it, hopefully with the volumes you should be able to break even and be in profit. This is what I would say to that.
Thank you very much. And there is also one more question coming in. The question is there any tax cuts for Ghanaian citizens who are operating in Ghana? Is there any tax cuts for Ghanaian citizens operating in Ghana? That's the question.
Okay, so they are not tax cuts are not based on nationality. Okay, you don't get tax cuts by virtue of being Ghanaian in Ghana. You don't. Tax cuts or tax incentives, like you saw in the presentation, is based on your business activity and your location. So even if I am a Chinese man and I have a manufacturing company in Wa, and the incentive is zero corporate tax, I will enjoy it. Similarly, if I'm also a Ghanaian and I'm in Wa, and the law says zero taxes, I will also enjoy zero taxes. So nationality does not affect whether you pay more or you pay less when it comes to taxes. Taxes are a function of sales and your operations. It's not a function of nationality. I hope that also answers it.
Okay, Kanan, I hope your question is answered. Mr. Alex has re-enlightened us. Please, please, if anyone has any question, this is a good time for you to ask.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to know if I have set up, let's say, a shop, a shop that does only customization of clothes, let's say in the outskirts of Tafo, let's say Tafo new site. I have a very good shop, there are machines that are customizing shirts. And so there's no official tax officers or anybody that will go there to collect tax. What are the mandatory taxes that I personally have to submit or pay so that in the future I will not get any problem? Because let's say the shop is at the new site, nobody will be there to ask you anything. But let's say if it gets bigger in the near future, somebody will come and say you open it this day and there's nothing you have paid and something like that. So I want to know, what are the specific taxes that you have to pay when you owe a business, something like that?
Okay, so the statutory taxes to pay. You said you are selling clothing, right?
Yeah. You send
Okay,
clothes
so-
from China, then you customize them and sell.
Okay, so first of all, you need to pay income tax. Income tax for the workers or the worker who is or who are working in the shop, in the business. You need to pay income taxes for them every month. It's a graduated formula. There's a formula. It's not a flat rate. There's a formula for calculating the exact amount of tax. So you put in the gross salary. If the person is being paid 500 cedis, 1,000 cedis a month, you put it in the formula, it will generate the cost. It can be done manually as well. Secondly, you need to pay social security. It's compulsory. It's also a function of the salary. So that's also another statutory cost. Then the last but not the least is your VAT. Is your VAT. I don't know what your sales volumes are, but if your sales volumes are less than, I believe it's 120,000, then you will not be liable to pay VAT. 120,000 cedis per annum, then you are not liable to pay VAT. If your sales exceeds 500,000 cedis a year, then you would have to apply a standard rate of 18.5% to the things you sell. These are the statutory things that you need to do month on month. For the rent that you pay in the shop, you are required to withhold 15% of that rent money and pay that to government. So if somebody or your landlord is charging you a certain amount, most landlords will not tell you. Because of course we all want to realize more money from the rent. They won't tell you, but it's a requirement. So you need to withhold 15%. Then at the end of the year, it's your financial statement that you need to submit at the end of the year. So basically that is it in terms of what your obligations are as a business.
So the landlord is not supposed to pay you. The person renting the shop is supposed to take the money from the agreed amount that the landlord is taking.
Exactly. Because it's called withholding tax. You have to withhold from that money and pay him the rest. Then when you withhold, that money is not for you. You have to pay that money to government, to GRA. And then when 15%. You are paid, yes, if it's a commercial facility, I mean commercial premises for commercial, if it's a house or whatever for commercial activity, is 15%. So you need to withhold and then you will pay to government. When you are paying, you need to declare or indicate the name of your landlord, whoever rented. So you are paying in his favor. Then you will take the original tax credit receipt that they will give you. Then you give it to your landlord. He will then take it and use it for his tax returns. So when he is also paying his taxes, he will show them the receipt that, oh, he already has a tax credit with them, which will help him to defray his tax liabilities for the year.
Okay. Nice.
Wow, interesting. Please, any other question?
And people owe Ghana money.
Yeah. So I'd like to have a question.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd like to ask: is there a type of company like partnership? Partnerships. We have companies like partnerships company. That's if there's something like that.
Okay, so we have partnership businesses, but we don't have partnership company. Let me explain.
Okay.
So partnership is a form of business. We have sole proprietorship. We also have partnership. In a partnership, two people or more come together and say, we want to do this. So you write a partnership deed. This is how we are going to run the partnership. And this is registered at the RGD. After you have put the deed together, you register a partnership. The liabilities in a partnership venture is unlimited, meaning that if Kofi and Amma decide to come together to form a business, and tomorrow they run down the business, or one of them runs down the business, the liabilities emanating from the business will be shared by the two of you, according to how you have structured your agreement. So that is a partnership. You can also have a company limited by shares that has multiple parties involved, meaning that the same Kofi and Amma can decide that instead of forming a partnership business, they want to form a company limited by shares that has two partners or two shareholders. And that would also work. The advantage of that is that you are both protected, because then you are forming a limited by shares company, and which can outlive the two of you and gives you room to grow and room to have others come work for you and expand the business. You can appoint more directors to run the business, and shareholders can sit and relax and allow the business to grow. So these are the two options for you. Yeah, I hope it's clear.
Yeah, it's very, very clear. It's very, very clear. Please, any other question? We have room for one more question. So if somebody has a question, this is a very good time to ask.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, you are in. You can ask your question.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to ask about the two things. One, the levies collected by the assemblies, the municipal assemblies, metropolitan assembly, and all that, and then that of GRA. How different are they? And also the registration, the one with the Registrar General Department and the one you have to do with the local assembly. How different are they? And what is the importance of the two of them? If you don't do it, are they consequences that you have to face, especially with the local assembly? Thank you.
Okay, so the one you pay at the local assembly is called business operating permit. Okay, it's called business operating permit. So that is at the locality or at the municipal or district level. Okay, the taxes you pay to GRA is at the national level. Okay, and those are taxes. What you pay at the municipal or local assembly or district is not a tax. It's called business operating permit. So for all the businesses located within a certain locality, you are required to pay a one-time permit fee for the year. The permit fee depends on the type of business you are running and the size of the business. So one is called a permit, and everything you pay to Ghana Revenue Authority is called a tax. Then you ask about RGD. Yes, RGD, you don't pay anything there. What you go to do there is annual returns. After the business has been registered, what you do on annual basis is called annual returns, or you can call it renewal of your business certificate. So these are three different things. The money paid for business operating permit, I presume, even though I don't know what they use it for, it's meant to develop that particular area, and it's a revenue source for the municipal assembly. So that's the difference. These are the differences.
Thank you very much for making it clear for us. Please, if you have If you have any question to ask, you can also show by hand. You can also show by hand if you have any question to ask, so that we can give you the platform.
I have a
ask your
question, please.
Yeah, if you have a question, you first put up your hand. We see you, then we allow you. All right, don't worry, you can ask your question.
So he made mention that some, let's say Chinese or other foreign investors contact them, and then they do feasibility study and background checks for them. So is there an opportunity whereby, let's say, a Ghanaian business starter will also send his proposal to their consulting firm so that they help link that person to the foreign investors who is also looking for partnership? Is there something like that in his firm?
Take it again. So like a Ghanaian sending a proposal to partner like a foreigner, is that what you mean?
Yeah. So normally a foreigner can come to your consultancy firm and seek to have, let's say, a partner in Ghana or a company that they want to work with.
Yeah.
So this is the case. I'm a Ghanaian, I'm already in Ghana, and I also need, let's say, a foreign hand in partnership to somebody to work with or a company to work with. So can I come to you so that you link me, who is already in Ghana, to a foreign company, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, why not? We don't have any issues with that. The only thing is that it's demand driven. So when we have a request from someone somewhere outside who says, I'm looking for this particular person, then we look for such people. So when we receive such a proposal from a Ghanaian, we will keep it and hold on to it until such a time that we have a request. It's like a marriage. So once we have a suitor, then we have to find a person, a bride, if I'm not mistaken. So if you send us a request, we will receive it, we will take note of it, we will keep it. At any point in time when we have any investor and they say, I'm looking for this kind of thing or this kind of person, and what you have given us falls within, we'll just contact you and do the matchmaking and then link you up with the person, and then you start talking and you start engaging from there. So we don't have any issues at all with that. We're happy to do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Alex. For duly answering all our questions for us. And at this juncture, we have vote of thanks, and we shall call upon her name, that is Constance Osebunsu, NUGS-CHINA Women Commissioner, to give us the vote of thanks. Hello, Constance, please, are you there? Mr. Handy.
Hello,
Organizer, can you please show? Yeah. Okay. Hello.
Please, can you hear? Yes, please.
Yeah. Before Constance comes in, we shall. Yeah. We first have the welcome giving the vote of thanks. After that, we shall give the closing remarks, and that will be by Mr. Gideon.
Okay. Please, can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Hello.
We can hear your voice.
Yes.
Put them, your tongue.
Matsi, Hada. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay. Please, can I have the vote of thanks without on in my camera?
Sure, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Good evening once again. I'm Constance from Jinhua NUGS will come, and I'm here to give the vote of thanks. From the start, we say thank you very much to the Almighty God for making this program a success, for the gift of life and the privilege of gathering. A very big thank you also goes to our facilitator, Mr. Twumasi, for his insightful knowledge shared with us. Some profound things he said was, promise to buy is not a sale, which is so profound, especially to those in business. Promise to buy is not a sale. And I think that if we did not get anything for today, at least we should put this one in at the back of our head. And thank you also to the national executive, the president, the vice president, the organizers, the secretaries, and all present. We also want to say a very big thank you to Hangzhou NUGS executive and the members, as well as Jinhua NUGS members and the executive. I can see people from way back home also joining us. We say a very big thank you to all of you for joining us, those from Ghana, those in the US, those in the UK, and those with us in China here. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. Thank you once again, Mr. Twumasi, and your executives also for this insightful, very insightful and knowledge-filled seminar. Thank you very much. My work here is done.
Thank you very much, Madam Wokom. We are so much delighted for such a great closing vote of thanks that you've given on to us. The next on the list is closing remarks, and that is going to be given by Mr. Gideon. He is the president of Hangzhou NUGS chapter. That is NUGS Hangzhou chapter. Mr. Gideon, please, if you are there, let's move on with the closing remarks. And also, he shall also be reading out the citation that we shall give to our guest speaker. So,
okay.
Organizer,
Thank you.
if you are there, you can help us.
I'll have to do the citation on behalf of Mr. Gideon. He's currently not available. Yeah, so Mr. Twumasi, thank you very much. And this is from Jinhua and Hangzhou chapters of the National Union of Ghanaian Students, China. We sincerely thank you for availing yourself to educate our members on the legal and regulatory framework for starting a business in Ghana, held today, that is the 29th of April 2022. The event would not have been a success without your support. We deeply appreciate the in-depth knowledge you shared on business registration and the willingness you exhibited in making our program successful. We want to say thank you very, very much, sir. And we want to appreciate everyone that made it today. And we want to say thank you, everyone. So my work is done.
Thank you very much, Mr. Terry. Thank you so much for reading out such a beautiful citation for our guest speaker. Next on the list is a closing prayer. We shall receive closing prayer from Martha Samoa. She is the General Secretary for NUGS Jinhua chapter. Hello. Please, is Martha Samoa available for her to give us the closing prayer? Okay.
Okay, let's pray. Our dear Lord and Master Savior, we thank you for today. We thank you for this wonderful program that you've been with us through all. We thank you for Mr. Alex Twumasi, for his wonderful words that he shared with us. We've learned so much. We thank you that we put good use to it. Father, may your will be done and your name be praised forever. Amen.
Amen. Amen. We are thanking everyone for making it a point to be with us in this program. Thanks to everyone. You can have open comments by participants. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Accra tax.
Yeah. Omaba. Yeah, Yapon.
Oh, the car muntia, one more shop, no muntia.
Eh,
Muntia
one
tax.
kaya brogu odi.
What's your home bonnet, more shop organ.
Yes, son won't say. Na yena na no mo kodwoma enkofo ibadwom bed ede tax you receipt in kitty bro no ma magic coins bi
Oh,
tax no no
enye tax.
Market tax omuji market tax.
if we cancel no ma man na tria tax we
Omuji market tax.
Omoko je
Abayi for no. Abayi
Utu ya property rate. Uwe jeopardy no so utu ya hoka.
become a child.
Property rate.
Na abayi for no so e.
Utu so
ai
abayi for when tu is say better one mako this year. Yeah, so office every beji wo.
Yes, your mobile no mudwane. Omu tutu omu shop mu. Engana for omu dia.
This pay mu omu beji akodi. O beji na odi bibi ya.
One.
Enjoy out the bia beji ko insuo kra bi ni ho. Insuo kra omu be insuo kra bi ni ho.
Asemo market fire extinguishers company wo ejato wo pe. What's na show mu ne manyina.
Until we pa.
We nya mu buji tax.
O de o kwa ko fire extinguisher kra. O de wonu ma buy.
Jano. O ya kase area no common develop.
okay also fire
O ko fire extinguisher.
VIP company ho kra na ke say ye na nanom ni ma me mo pe ba bia e se mo kra ye easy amom
wako ayi me fan say wako tafudwom wako pankrono dwom wako ehwan dwom won say bi a ayi no na nkwasifo no dwa nam no won say ya ye pipe bia na bi go osada uhu bi
me say eja 8 meter market obu do the first service for the bar afena
sonim
go body pan ekobu nsuaba
sonim yes ensuo keka omonde be hokro niema ho ne omonde be hokro eno kra bi ni ho this oboko na omonde hokro niema ho
empty cow no water
me the crowd ya na just normal insuo anka ombetimi o ton ama ne cry normal obetimi ayusu dia aye ahohoro ne niema ho aton no eno kra bi ni ho ebi ni ho enti o tai o ye obi a bia o maame na o papa adwuma wo na o tai ko ho a basa niema bi o kra o kondo e de aduane kra o koso ba wani ehu anye tanti mo dia no mo nyini
ye dia de nyini ye de
asa we de no na atrema betime
enye easy o
hey ye ma me no market ne de enye easy o
confused any o tafu honum no hwan ho do mutima de so yen do maye ayi drainage kwa mo fan yo
ene on de omuti ye
slaughterhouse for no just that one them honum dia moja na no edintu
so mo ye ni sa dia ye yeah am say
am be on butcher no ni we ni na drainage kese ba so
omutimi ye nice open gutter bi
kata so jimu moja no say etini wa gutter ni tututu eh shi
ebe bi odi nam
mayanka the whole mayanka the whole Kumasi mayanka kra na say anu mu
ewa Kumasi mayanka
the tax na moje no eno no enye problem bia but ade o mu de tax na ye no no ni problem no
no se maame no
na tax ni je problem na wo jina wo fanya de o de ye no
omu nyina ni say
o je ade ni hu de o de ye
ogana won't stop recording no
video gonna leak a tape
ogana tete wada
ogana ko editing na bifa mi free so
media man
ogana we still go record you
Dabi weye national organizer na the recording is I mean my jam media no but your co-host in dinner or that's recording me
Yeah,
Me kasa.
yes,